The Legend of Dragoon was released in 2001 here in Europe, but originally 1999 in Japan, 2000 in North America, but for me here in the UK, 2001, and is set in a fictional world called Endiness, and follows Dart and his companions as they try and stop the destruction of the world and a war, and Dart trying to get revenge upon some black entity that wiped out his village and his parents potentially. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the game, and I'll be perfectly honest, I did not play it until this year. I played through it this year, and I'll be honest, I had a blast. I was originally going to just capture a little bit of footage from it to make some kind of this game's pretty cool, this game should have a remake, and it absolutely should have a remake. Legend of Dragoon, it deserves to be brought back up, or not even remade, just remastered like the Grandia games, you know, just HD the game up and bring it onto modern consoles. It was developed by Japan Studios, so I don't know if they're still going or if there's a rights issue or anything, but Sony was the publisher, so if it's going to come back on anything, it'll come back on PlayStation 5 and 4. But the game is a JRPG, turn-based combat. It's very similar to Final Fantasy 7, 8 and 9. However, I have to say that Legend of Dragoon is its own beast and should not really be compared to the Final Fantasy games, apart from the fact that they're the same genre, because Legend of Dragoon is a lot more adult in theme, deals with a lot more stuff like revenge and death and all that kind of stuff. There are the usual tropes in the game, like one of the characters, she falls ill, and I immediately called out, so I suppose we're going to have to go find a cure for her before we can then move on with the main quest. And I was like, oh look, shock horror, I gotta go find a cure. So it's turn-based, but what you can really do and really do well is the combat, and it's called an addition system, where after you initiate an attack, you then have to press X or circle, depending on what squares come up in time, and you will pull off really cool combos. And the addition system that you can change to different ones, and you can level them up and all that, and of course you can equip different weapons and accessories and stuff to the characters anyway. But yeah, it's the addition system is really cool and is really unique. It does keep you on to keep you on your toes when you're doing the combat, so you don't just have to keep pressing attack, or a special move or magic or whatnot. You can use magic once characters learn it and stuff, and the really cool is you can the characters eventually, starting with Dart but moving on to the other characters, they can become a Dragoon, where you can perform really powerful magic attack or just a really cool addition attack, and which can be upgraded so you can do more with it. Unfortunately, you don't get to use the Dragoon thing as much as I think I'd like to, but it is really cool. And the world especially is really good. The pre-rendered backgrounds are great. The characters are really cool, and their relationship and their bonds that as you continue through the game, it grows naturally, and they all become friends, and it's so, I don't want to spoil anything or give anything away, and I've literally only played through the game once, so I'm no knowledge box on the game, but yeah, seriously, the relationship between Dart and Shana, he kind of sees her as a sister, but she sees him as a boyfriend, a lover, and all that kind of stuff because they're childhood friends. It's just such a great game. I really did fall in love with it and the characters and the story, and it has a fantastic soundtrack. The music is really good, and there is actually a novel and manga inspired by the game as well, which is worth checking out if you're into that, if you like reading books or reading manga. But yeah, if you're looking for a JRPG that ticks all of the right boxes and seriously deserves to come back. It's filled with it's filled with war, it's filled with dragons, it's filled with revenge, everything that's usually in a JRPG, it's here. And it's really cool because in moments like Dart puts aside his own personal goal of finding this black entity to help stop a war, as you witness firsthand what this war is doing to people and to villages and all that kind of stuff. And it's really well written and very good. I'd have to say it's so good. That's all I can say. It's just a damn good game. I would definitely play through it again one day. I will be honest, I did kind of emulate it because to get it physically for PS1 here in the UK, it's expensive. it's about 150 to 200 quid. That's a lot of money to spend on a PS1 game, which I can't justify, and I don't, you know, I just can't justify that kind of expenditure on a PS1 game, especially when PS1 games came in dual cases and they sucked ass. But Legend of Dragoon is awesome if you want to emulate it, or if you want to throw money at it and get it physically, knock yourself out. But Legend of Dragoon definitely gets an S ranking from me. It's everything a JRPG should be, and wow, it's an amazing and one of the best JRPGs on the PS1 that I cannot believe I missed for just over 20 years. But thank you very much for watching the review, and I'll catch you on the next one.